I thought menopause just meant you're not getting your monthly cycle anymore.
That's what I thought too.
And I was like, that's great. I can't wait for that. I've had my kids already. I'm done. When is menopause coming? I'm ready.
Welcome back to Ask Dr. BGV. Today we are doing something a little different. I am Anna Palomino. I am the head of marketing of BGV, Black Girl Vitamins. But today I decided to hijack the channel a little bit because there is something that we are not talking about that I think we need to talk about, especially because I know from my personal experience that these things are so important. So today we are going to be talking about the topic of aging. And before you think, oh, this is 10 steps to da-da-da-da, it is not that. We're having a very vulnerable conversation. But here at Black Girl Vitamins, we are genuinely here to provide the space and the grace for us as Black women to thrive. For us to thrive, we need information, we need conversation. So how are we talking about aging today? We're going to talk about it from the perspective of a 32-year-old woman. You may be wondering, who's a 32-year-old woman? That's me. I have questions. I have things that I've been scared about, if I'm to be 100% honest with you. My body doesn't feel the same way. My thoughts are a little bit different. I'm evolving, but evolving where? Evolving how? I figured the best way to have this very raw, very honest conversation would be to have it with the founder of 40 Plus Double Dutch Club, Pamela Robinson.
It's uplifting. It's liberating.
You better get out the way. Move your feet.
Letting go of everything. Just free.
Have Pam. I affectionately call her Pam. She, as you can see, her smile is very bright. Her energy is so pure. She's a founder of the 40 Plus Double Dutch Club, which has so many chapters across the United States. Essentially, it is a club where women 40 plus come together and they jump rope. Pam, can you tell us a little bit about 40 Plus Double Dutch before we get started?
Well, thank you for having me on. And as a part of this candid conversation, 40 Plus Double Dutch Club is a group of women, and we exist to empower women in friendship, fitness, fun, and fellowship. We are helping women to improve not only their physical health, but their mental and spiritual health as well. And we do that while jumping double dutch, hopscotching, hula hooping, playing Chinese rope jacks. We do all of the things we did when we were growing up back in the day.
Back in the day. I love that. I think the first thing I saw when I came across your Instagram page, there is a video of your members jump roping on your hands.
Yes, that's actually a video of our South Florida sub club. And they were in a parade. And the captain of our South Florida group, her name is Asia, she is willing to try any trick and do anything inside the ropes. And I don't know exactly how old Asia is, but I know she's at least 50. And yes, She can do push-ups in the rope because you're only as old as you feel.
That is why I wanted to have this conversation today. That's exactly what I need. My spirit needs that. I'm 32 years old. What does this mean? I'm going to be 40 soon. Am I supposed to be scared? I'm truthfully not scared, but I'm very nervous. I'm anxious because of the things that we're told by society, the things that we're told growing up, things that we are told we're supposed to feel and we're supposed to think, but there seems to be a disconnect. So I want to ask you, Pam, if you had the opportunity to talk to your 32-year-old self now, what would you tell your 32-year-old self about this whole process of aging?
Well, that's a very good question. And I actually have a 31-year-old daughter who I talk to all the time. So she is like my 31-year-old self. And what I would tell someone that's your age and my daughter's age is just keep living and keep enjoying life. Keep enjoying life. No, your body is not going to be the same. Your thoughts are not going to be the same. Your energy may change, but that doesn't have to be a bad thing. So I know when I was growing up, we always felt like getting older was something to fear. But now, as an older person, I'm 54 years old. I'll be 55 in October.
Stop. You're 55?
I'll be 55 in October. I'm 54.
You're 54?
I just said I have a 31-year-old daughter.
I'm sorry, the
I
math
got a
wasn't
33-year-old son too. So
What?
yeah. Well, I mean, when I was younger, I thought turning 30, whoo, that's a lot. Turning 40, oh my gosh. Turning 50, you're over the hill. That's how we were raised to think of getting older. But now I know getting older is a blessing. It's a blessing. It's something we should all be striving to do. And we need to learn how to do it gracefully and do it in a way where we are celebrating aging rather than dreading it and trying to combat it, because you can't. You can't. So you need to embrace it and make it look good.
I like that.
So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make people look forward to getting older.
I like that. You said something just now that made my heart smile so much, because a thought popped to my head based on what you said, which is that we need to celebrate getting older. We need to be excited about it. And the thought that popped into my head was, so many people don't get the opportunity
Exactly.
to age.
Right.
And so us here, alive, breathing, dreading getting older, it seems sort of counterproductive.
It is.
It seems like we add sadness to our lives when we do that. Wow, it introduced a whole new perspective. So that's what 40 Plus is about. 40 Plus Double Dutch Club is about.
That's
right?
what it's about. Our vision statement is that we are celebrating aging and to encourage women everywhere to celebrate aging. It's a good thing. And like I said, it's a blessing to get older. Our oldest active jumper will be 91 years old in August.
91 years?
91 years old.
Okay, so now I have a question. So it's about your 91-year-old jumper. When you have conversations with her, has she explained how she feels as a 91-year-old woman jump roping and being so active? What are the thoughts that go through her mind daily?
She joined our group. She heard about us when she was 88.
Oh, wow.
She didn't know how to jump double dutch. We taught her how to jump double dutch at 88 because we can teach anyone how to jump on the spot. Anyone. If you can move, you can jump. So we taught her how to jump double dutch at the age of 88. And she has been jumping and coming out to play and line dancing and doing everything that we do. And she really is inspiring women everywhere when they see that your age really is just a number. So I'm not sure if you saw when you look at our videos, I don't know if you noticed that we wear our ages on our backs.
That's what that is?
So if you see the numbers on our backs, those are our ages because we really are celebrating it. And we know that back when we were growing up, we were told, a lot of us were told, that a woman never tells her age. We are screaming our ages from the rooftops.
I love that.
We want people to see this is what 40 should look like. This is what 50 should look like, 60, 70, 80, and now 90. This is what you can look like, and appreciating every day that you are blessed to live.
Your jacket right now has your age on the back?
It doesn't. It's on the back of our T-shirts. And I don't have on my T-shirt because I just have on a plain T-shirt today, but it does have my birth year on it.
Oh, I love it.
Because we celebrate aging in everything that we do. Everything we do, we usually wear either our birth year or our age. We prefer to wear our age because people don't like to do the math. So
I was just thinking,
right,
1970, 2025. What's the math?
Exactly.
This is just a logistic / operational question. Do you change your shirts every year to upgrade the age?
Good question coming from the marketing expert. So when we started 40 Plus, when Katrina and I started this back in 2016, we didn't wear shirts. I had my son design a logo a little while after we started because he's an artist, and he created a logo for us just so that we looked unified when we took pictures. But in 2019, we did our first TV interview on Windy City Live in Chicago. And it was a great interview. And that's when people all over the world really heard about us because we really were just a small group of ladies in Chicago. When we did the Windy City Live interview, the segment went viral. And one of the things that Val Warner, who was interviewing us, she kept asking, well, how old is that lady? And how old is that lady? And she can't be over 40. And so after coming home and watching the interview, I was like, okay, we can't spend half of the interview
Talking about the age.
telling how old everybody is. And plus, they're asking me these questions. I can't remember how old all of these ladies are. I can barely remember my age. So Katrina and I came up with the idea to have everyone wear their name and their ages on the back of their shirt. Because also, when we would get together, there got to be so many people. It was no longer just our friends coming out jumping with us. There were people from all over, and we didn't know these people. So my mother was writing out name tags for everyone every time we had a meetup. And I'm like, we're not going to be buying name tags every time we get together. And so we said, you know what? We're going to get shirts and put our name and current age on the back. And then people said, well, that means when I have a birthday, I'm going to have to get a new shirt. Exactly. So that became, we don't charge mandatory membership dues yet. Not yet. We may be soon. But right now, no mandatory membership dues. But our T-shirt with your name and current age that we ask all of our members to purchase once a year, that is in lieu of an annual membership fee. So yes, every year we get a new shirt. We got all different color shirts. We got basketball jerseys, football jerseys.
It's a whole fashion line.
It's a whole clothing line now.
On the topic of celebrating our age, and you have 91-year-old women jumping. Before you started 40 plus double dutch and you realized that you were starting to age, did you feel like your body was telling you, hey, this is very different. I'm not the same. Wake up, do something. Did you feel like your body was screaming out at you to do something different than what you're accustomed to doing in your 20s?
I think that a lot of us have experienced that, where your body is just, it doesn't respond the way it used to. You aren't able to do all of the things that you used to be able to do. But I think that we have to be grateful for the fact that we can still do something. And we need to make sure that we are still doing something. Even if you can't do everything you used to do, you can most certainly do some of the things you used to do. So we encourage all of our members to make sure you're listening to your body. When we're outside playing, now when we jump, before we get together, before we jump, we stretch. We didn't have to do that back in the day. We never had to stretch before we played outside. And when we played outside before, we thought we were just playing outside to have fun. We didn't even know we were exercising. We know we're exercising now. We can feel it. We go home and we soak in Epsom salt. We didn't do that when we were 12 years old and playing outside with our friends. We do now, but that's okay. We don't let that stop us, because there are things that you can do to handle these challenges that you may be going through. And the challenges are going to come, and they might not all come at the same time. You might start feeling that difference when you're 30. You might not start feeling it until you're 40 or until you're 50. I know for me, even with the weight gain that they talk about that comes along with menopause, that didn't start for me until a couple of years ago. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why do I have to change my eating habits now? I've been eating the same stuff for 50 years, but now it's sticking to my thighs. That didn't happen before. Why do I have to deal with this? This isn't fair. But it's just a part of the aging. And so we got to take the good with the bad.
Boy, listen, when you mentioned you started stretching now, you never used to have to stretch. That's the same thing I'm experiencing right now. It's like alarm, 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 alarm. I go to the gym now when I have leg day, and before I just go to the gym, I just pull up on the squat rack. I just start squatting. And now I realize when I squat, my hips are so tight. I'm like, what's happening? I need to stretch weights. And now I have to stretch too before I start working out. I even have to stretch my back. I mean, before, when I was in my 20s, like, you're stretching back? What kind of back are you stretching? But
it's okay. These are joyful challenges.
That's
this
a nice perspective
of becoming older, which is a blessing. It's a blessing that everyone doesn't experience.
That is true. So it's a blessing that we get to stretch.
Absolutely.
And we get to move.
You get to do that, and you're still moving, and you're still working those muscles. You're still doing that. So keep doing that.
You know, you're like a breath of fresh air with this conversation. I was telling Jen, or Chief Strategy Officer, that when it comes to aging, it feels almost like there's nobody around to provide just advice. Just, can you tell me what you're thinking about getting older, right? You mentioned earlier about menopause. Because I'm with BGV and because I work closely with our medical advisors, I know about menopause and I learned about perimenopause. That was the first time I learned of that phrase, perimenopause. I didn't know there was such a thing. For our viewers, let me just take this opportunity to tell you about perimenopause. Without really going too much into it, we have videos uploaded on our channel done by our medical advisors talking purely about what menopause is and perimenopause. But essentially, perimenopause is like the introductory phases of menopause. So that is why it catches a lot of us off guard so much, is because we know about menopause. We've heard about menopause. We probably don't know 100% about it, but we've heard about it. But perimenopause, what is that? So essentially, as I said, it's the introductory stages of menopause. And it can happen in your late 40s. So did you hear what I just said? Late 40s? Are you expecting menopause, any sort of menopausal symptoms in your 40s, your late 40s? I certainly can say I was not. I can certainly say prior to working with our medical advisors and learning about perimenopause, I wasn't thinking that, hey, late 40s, start thinking about menopause now, the hot flashes. What? That's another thing. Pam, I want to ask you, when was it that you were like, you know what? I think I'm going through perimenopause.
So my understanding of menopause, because as you said, it's not something that's talked about a lot. Now, people are talking about it more lately, but growing up and in my 20s and 30s, I didn't really know what menopause was. And my mother is a registered nurse that talked to us about everything. But that just wasn't something that we talked about. I knew about menopause, but I thought menopause just meant you're not getting your monthly cycle anymore.
That's what I thought too.
And I was like, that's great. I can't wait for that. I've had my kids already. I'm done. When is menopause coming? I'm ready.
I thought the same thing.
I didn't know that there was anything more to it. And so I thought menopause was something to be excited about and look forward to. I didn't know it had these other symptoms. Now, I will say that for me, thankfully, I have not yet experienced a lot of the symptoms. I have experienced the end of my monthly cycle, which was a blessing. So that was great. That's one of the blessings of aging. I was very excited about that. And that happened, I think I was 49 when I finally, you have to go for 1 year without having your cycle.
Right.
And so when that happened, I was like, perfect. I don't have to buy pads or tampons. I don't have to worry about, great. This is amazing. But then there are other symptoms that come along with it. And from what I've heard from my different friends and members of 40 Plus Double Dutch Club, some of those symptoms are horrible.
Girl.
Horrible. I mean, the hot flashes that make you break out in a sweat. So like I said, I haven't experienced that, but I know some of my friends and my members are like, oh my gosh, it is awful. And, you can actually see them breaking out in a sweat. And I'm like, it's not even hot in here.
Your face right now.
And they're like, it's hot inside of me. And I'm like, oh, start trying to fan them off. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
And, just all of the other things, the fatigue, the headaches, just so many different things that are happening. Now, I think I'm blaming my recent weight gain on menopause. So I'm saying, oh, now I'm getting the symptoms of menopause. But then I got my friends telling me that ain't menopause. That's that chocolate cake you keep eating. The chocolate cake didn't used to have this effect. So I blame menopause.
I'm right there with you. I agree with that. Menopause affects your hormones. So, when your hormones are affected, it does affect how you put on weight, take off weight. So I agree with that. But that is so interesting that you mentioned that, you don't experience the menopausal symptoms as severely, but your friends do. That is something else that when I learned about it from our advisors, that is something that I found to be extremely interesting, because did you know that Black women experience menopausal symptoms more severely than any other group of women?
I didn't know that.
Black women experience menopausal symptoms way more severely
Wow.
and for longer than every other group of.
Why?
Girl, I don't know.
Why
I don't know. I don't. This is something I was saying to our other execs that 82% of Black women are deficient in vitamin D.
Yeah. I know
Black
that.
women are 2 to 3 times more likely to be anemic than any other group of women. Black women are more affected by PCOS than any other women, and at an alarming rate. Black women experience just, I feel like we have all these things that we are carrying. It is like, well, when do we get to rest? And you know what Jen said? I was like, when do we get to rest? She says, not even in menopause.
Not even then.
Not even then.
Because I've heard some horror stories from some of my friends about menopause. I mean, really bad.
I hear
Really
them
bad.
every day. So our website has a review section. So we ask all of our customers, when you try our products, go on our website and leave a review, of the product that you're taking. So I'm always going through reviews because, as I said, it is important to me to know what our customers are thinking and the problems they're having so that we can solve these problems as best as we can. I go through the reviews for the or Menochill. We have a product specifically designed for menopause.
I know.
I mean, we're so proud of that product. We go through our reviews and we see so many women experiencing peace.
Mm-hmm.
I see, I used to sweat so much. I used to wake up in a puddle of sweat every night, and now it's gone, and now I'm doing so much better. I used to be so tired all the time, and now I feel so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Or my sex drive was gone, but now I'm feeling better. I'm like, yeah, you got it. I'm just rooting. So to see the severity of these symptoms and how our women are experiencing these symptoms, it makes me feel all the more proud about our product Menochill, which I need to tell everybody about Menochill. Here at Black Girl Vitamins, we heard the cries of our women. We heard the cries of our women experiencing menopause. We know that the menopausal symptoms can be brutal. We got into the lab with our medical advisors, with our chemists, with our customers, and we formulated the best menopausal supplement that you'll ever come across. Am I just saying this because I'm the head of marketing? I am not just saying this because I'm the head of marketing. I'm saying this because our women who take Menochill, they tell us, go to the review section of our website and look on the Menochill. Look at the reviews. Night sweats, gone. Hormonal imbalance, fixed. You're doing better. Your energy is better. You are no longer feeling like you are outside of your body. You feel like yourself again. It is because of this supplement, Menochill. It is backed by science. I told you it was formulated by our medical advisors, one of which specializes in menopause. So if you are experiencing any of these symptoms, try this product. Give Menochill an opportunity to make a difference in your life. Shop at www.blackgirlvitamins.co and experience comfort and relief with Menochill. There's a lot going on from California to New York. There's a lot going on. 40 Plus Double Dutch Club has chapters all over the country. So you are in the perfect position to see what is going on and hearing from or women or Black women in our nation. So what I wanted to ask you, do you think society has any idea what, or Black women, especially over 40, what they are carrying, not just physically, but emotionally, historically, spiritually? Do you have an idea? Do you think they appreciate or understand what is happening?
I honestly don't think that society respects Black women enough to even care what we have going on and what we have to carry. And as disheartening as that is, that means we got to care about it more ourselves. And so that was another reason that this 40 Plus Double Dutch Club has made such an impact on so many women, because at 40 years old, We spend so much time taking care of everybody else. We're taking care of our husbands or our boyfriends, our children, our grandchildren now, our parents now. We're so busy worrying about our jobs and meeting quotas or preparing for retirement or dealing with retirement. We're dealing with health challenges. I just found out that we are affected by menopause more than any other group. So we got a lot that we're carrying. And so that's why with 40 Plus Double Dutch Club, it has provided an opportunity for women to just focus on ourselves. So when we get together, it's no men, no kids, no pets, no stress.
I love it.
It's just a chance for us to get together and be selfish and think about us. Because most of us, if anybody had asked us, even if I asked you, when's the last time you went outside to play with your friends?
Wow. If I said years, would you believe?
See? And I would say yesterday. I was out playing with my friends last night at Double Dutch. So it's something that we can say, this is what we do now for us. So it's a break from adulting because Black women have had to carry so much for so long that we don't even take the time to take a break for ourselves. And so that's why we have sub clubs all over the country. And every sub club has to agree that they have to commit to meetups once a week, same day, same time, same location, so that people know at least on this day at this time, I get to take a break and be a kid again and focus on me.
See?
You got to start taking that Meno chill.
We'll start early. You know, a side note, I found some more gray hair in my head. And I was like, what does this mean? What does this mean?
It's a blessing.
It's a blessing. You know what?
Right.
It's a blessing. So
It
many
is.
people are not even able to experience this. They're not around to experience it.
They're not around to experience.
Boy, Pam, I'm going to write that on a post-it and put it on my mirror. Pam said,
It's a blessing.
Earlier you mentioned that you don't believe society respects Black women enough to care about the health issues that we've been experiencing. And it really stuck with me because at Black Girl Vitamins, and I know this sounds like here at Black Girl Vitamins, but really at Black Girl Vitamins, all of us, we're also passionate about providing that assistance, that education that is so important to us, the education, so that Black women can arm themselves with what it is that we need in order to make sure that we're good.
That's right.
So society is, the Black women. And we are saying, the Black women.
We are the Black women.
Black women. So we always try to, it's beyond just vitamins for us at this point. I'm sure you at home, I'm sure you, Pam, have heard me say this 500 million times. It's more than vitamins for us at Black Girl Vitamins, more than gummies. We do webinars completely free every month, sometimes multiple times per month, where our medical advisors come on, again, completely free to answer questions. Because if you have something you're going through, you don't need to go through this alone. You don't need to, you go to a doctor, you're trying to explain, this is what's going on. That's another thing, is we are a group that we tend to be overlooked by the medical system. We go to our doctors and we say, this is what we're experiencing. But the doctor says, you're fine, you just need to lose weight.
They don't take us seriously.
They don't take us seriously. Every single issue you can think of comes back to, you just need to lose weight, which I'm not saying that there isn't merit to the fact that weight loss can help with some medical issues. But good God, can you listen? As my doctor, can you at least listen to what I'm saying in the moment? At least allow me to finish my thought before you tell me, you need to lose weight. Right? So we try to have our medical advisors available to provide that information. We provide so much education through our social media. If you go to our Instagram, you'll see a lot of our content is 5 things you need to know, or
right.
10 things to help, or, we try to provide information where we can, because that is what we need to do as a group, as Black women. We need to arm ourselves with information. So it was so powerful when you said it just now, because you took the thought right out of my head. Given what we just talked about, when a Black woman approaches a meetup of maybe one of the 40 plus double Dutch chapters, completely brand new, meaning you don't know where she's from, you know nothing about her, why do you think, or what do you think made her say, I'm going to come? Do you think there's some sort of void that she's filling? Do you think there's something she's aching, she's yearning for, that she looks at the 40 plus double Dutch club and says, this is it for me? What do you think she's thinking?
It really depends, because we have new women come out to our meetups almost every time we get together. And one of the questions we always ask is, how did you hear about us? And what did you like the most about this experience? So when somebody steps foot onto the playground or into the gym, wherever it is we're meeting, we make sure that we embrace them. And a lot of people say, oh, I heard about you all on the news, or I saw your video and you all look like you all having so much fun. Or somebody told me about you all and she said that it's a chance to jump double Dutch again. And I haven't jumped rope since I was in junior high school. So a lot of times people come out because they see our videos and we look like we're having a great time. The energy is high and you're jumping. You see people jumping rope and hula hooping and doing all of the things we did back in the day when we were at recess or playing outside in our backyards. So a lot of times people come for that. But by the end of the meetup, when they've experienced 40 plus double Dutch club, they explain to us that I've never felt so welcome. I've never felt so seen before. And so we find that while a lot of people come for the double Dutch, they stay for the sisterhood.
I love that. I love that. I think that's something that, if I'm to be completely honest, in my little side quest at BGV, within BGV, my mission is, which at BGV, if you didn't know, now you know, my little mission is for us to create a sisterhood, for customers to be a part of a sisterhood. Because when you mentioned earlier, really, I'm saying it really touched something inside of me when you said that society doesn't respect Black women enough to care. This is what it comes down to, is we have to stick together. We have to help each other. We have to share our knowledge. We have to look out for each other. So the fact that you can come and double Dutch, and you're double Dutching with somebody who you can consider a real friend, a sister, that is something that I'm trying to replicate at BGV. We have such a strong community so far within our customers. Every time we have an event, like they're like, Black Girl Vitamins, I've been taking your thing. And at some point, I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? What's happening? Is this going to be bad? And then, and it's working. It's working. So I'm like,
And then you're like,
wait,
good.
say this again.
Right. Can I record that?
Yeah, say this again. So I just love the fact that, we go out we go out because we're only online. We are online. We have our website. We're on Amazon. But when we go out to our events and we get to meet the customers and we talk, it feels like, yes, this is the sisterhood.
Yeah.
Where we're forming the sisterhood. So I really appreciate that. I do want to ask you a question on the back of that as well. Coming back to the question of aging, is there anything that you've had to unlearn about aging that you were maybe taught as a little girl? Now you're older, you're 54, which still blows my mind. Is there something that you've had to unlearn to get to this position?
I think the major thing that I had to unlearn is that when you get to a certain age, you feel like, oh, I'm too old to do that. It's too late for me to do that. And that's something that we are trying to let people know, that you're never too old and it's never too late. As long as you are breathing, you can keep succeeding at whatever it is you want to do.
Say that again. To that camera.
As long as you are breathing, you can keep succeeding at whatever it is you want to do.
You know what I've been thinking lately, Pam? I've been thinking, I didn't get a chance to do ballet when I was younger.
Do it.
You think so?
I absolutely think so.
You think I should get it? The
little
when
tutu?
Yeah, the tutus.
I see some of our members are still trying to walk around in tutus, and I'm like, no. No tutus at my meetup now. There are some things we're going to leave with the younger people, and those are tutus. But you can still do a tutu.
I can still do a tutu.
At ballet class.
At ballet class, important.
Now,
at
right,
ballet.
We don't want to see you walking down the street with it on, though. But at ballet class, it's appropriate. That's where you wear the tutu.
I will look into ballet. It's something, as I said, I asked you the question for a reason. I was like, oh, ballet, I'm too old for that.
No, you're definitely not too old for that. I know when I was 45 years old, before I started 40 plus, before me and Katrina got together and said, you know what, this is something we're going to do. I was 45 and I had always wanted to model. People started asking me, because I'm tall and I was thin, people started asking me about modeling when I was a teenager. And my parents always said, no. We don't care if people think you're pretty. Pretty faces are a dime a dozen. So you're going to school, you're getting a degree, period. So I never got to model when I was younger. And like I said, I had several opportunities, but first my parents said no. Then I was married with kids, and so I had to focus on that. So I never got to do it. But it was something that was always in the back of my mind that I really wanted to do. I love taking pictures. I love fashion. And so it's just something I always wanted to do. And at 45, I decided to do it.
Oh, wow. How did it go?
It was going really well, but then I started 40 plus.
Oh.
And so, but the modeling was going well for the most part. There were some challenges because people were telling me, some of the agencies, because I was signed with several different agencies.
Look at you.
But some of the agencies were telling me that I would be able to get more work if I either cut my locks, because I have locks and they're long, but I mean, they're folded up right now, but my hair is down to here.
Ooh.
And so I was told that I needed to either cut my locks off or cover them with a wig.
What?
And I said, yeah, no.
Wait,
I'm not going to do that.
What? Are we still doing this? That's wild to me.
This was in 2015. And they said, yeah, you need to either cut them or cover them. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to allow society to determine what my standard of beauty is. So I'm not going to do that.
Pam, say that again.
We cannot allow society to determine our standard of beauty. So I wanted to showcase what it looks like to be an older woman, because like I said, I was 45, and I believe in being natural. And so, my makeup would be natural, and I'm not doing all of the extra stuff. And so that's what I really wanted to promote. And I did it for a while. And then when 40 plus started, I started, more of my time went to that. But my dream at the time was, I said, I want to start modeling. I want to inspire women of all ages to embrace their natural beauty, no matter what their age is, no matter even what your size is, because you can be beautiful even if your doctor tells you need to lose weight. That doesn't take away from the beauty that you have on the inside and outside. We're all different. We're all made differently. We have different shapes, different sizes, different skill sets, but we all come together and it's something beautiful.
We're all beautiful.
We're all beautiful in some way, regardless of what society has been trying to tell us. So I did the modeling, and I wanted to be the face of a brand.
Look at you now.
I had no idea it was going to be my own brand.
Wow.
So
look at you.
out.
When you were talking, before you said that last sentence, while you were talking, I was thinking, you said you wanted to inspire women at all ages. And I was just thinking, look at her now.
And all I could say is look at God. Because you put it out there and you tell God what it is you want. And you don't know how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen, but you do know who can make it happen.
It's not your business to know the when or the how.
That's right.
That's what I tell myself too. I have anxiety and I'm a Christian too. So I'll say, God, this is what's going on. I'm leaving this right here at your feet. That's when 5 minutes later, God, you never hear me? Did you hear me? I said I left it at your feet. Why do I still feel it? But that's something that I always play in my head is it's not for you to know the how or the when.
right.
Just know who can make it happen. So
Exactly.
I'm right there with you. On that note, I want to ask you a question. What do you think would happen? What do you think the world would be missing if 40 plus double dutch went away tomorrow?
If 40 Plus Double Dutch Club went away tomorrow, I think that thousands of women would, who felt a void that 40 Plus was filling, I think that those women, regardless of if 40 Plus was around or not, would know that it's possible to fill that void and would be confident in themselves enough to know, I got this. Regardless of whether I still have this group, I learned enough, it impacted me enough that I can move on even though this group doesn't exist anymore. It has helped me, the inner me, enough that I can move forward even without 40 Plus Double Dutch Club. Now, I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but if it does, I still think every single woman who has become a part of our sisterhood would have gained something from the experience that's going to help them move forward in a positive way.
Got it. So you would say that if 40, God forbid, do we have any wood anywhere? God forbid, if 40 plus double dutch were to go away tomorrow, you're saying the world would miss a place where there's true sisterhood and a place to inspire you and to show you you are not alone, show you this is what you have to look ahead to. You have a place to just be yourself for yourself. That is what the world would miss. I'm there with you. I got you. So let's talk a little bit more about 40 Plus Double Dutch Club. Tell me a little bit more about it. When was it? Well, you told us earlier when it was started, but tell us again, what is it all about?
So 40 Plus Double Dutch Club started back in June of 2016. I was going through a really difficult period in my life. I had been married for almost 20 years. I was a stay-at-home wife and mother. My two oldest children were grown and out of the house. My youngest was finishing up high school, so my kids didn't need me the same way that they had. My husband at the time didn't want me the same way that he had. I have a master's degree, but I had never worked in my field because I was at home taking care of my family. And I needed something. And I didn't know exactly what I needed, but I did know I needed something. So one day I went to my friend Katrina's house, and she's my friend, but I really call her my bonus sister. I have two biological sisters, but Katrina's my bonus sister. So I went to her house one day, and I told her that I said, I think I know what I need, because she knew what I was going through, and she was one of, you know how you tell your friends what you're going through, and there's nothing they could do because your life just seems so hard, and they're like, I don't know what to do, but if there's anything I can do, just let me know. So I went to her, I said, I know what you could do. And she was like, what? Anything. And I said, I want to start jumping rope again, like we did back in the day.
I want to
start jumping rope. Moment. And she said, if that's what you want to do, then that's what we'll do. I said, but do you think anybody else is going to want to do it with us? Because we need 3 people to jump. I said, and I don't want no kids. I don't want no men. I want to be all grown-ups. I don't want to deal with no young people. I said, I want to be all grown-ups, over 40. So I was 46. Katrina was 42. And I said, I want to be all grown-ups. She said, put a message out there on your Facebook page. Put it out there. Ask if anybody wants to come out and jump. And if they do, that'll be great. And if they don't, we will tie the rope to the fence and we will jump together.
Katrina she sounds like an amazing friend.
She is an amazing friend. And Katrina loves jumping double dutch. Now, she's a jumper. But Katrina will tell anybody. She said, if I had asked her to do anything, it doesn't matter what it was, she would have done it.
Amazing friend.
So that's how it started. So it was Katrina and myself. And the first time we got together, 5 other ladies came out. So there were 7 of us. And that was on June 2nd of 2016. That's how it started. And we were just meeting once a week at that time. And then some of the ladies, they were telling their friends. And some of the ladies, we were out in the south suburbs of Chicago. And some of our church members, we attend Trinity United Church of Christ. And some of our church friends were like, well, we want to do it out here in the city, in Chicago. So then we started meeting once a week in the city and once a week in the suburbs. And we were meeting twice a week for 3 years. Just in the summertime, though, because double dutch is an outdoor sport. So it was from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
But I could have sworn I saw you guys jumping. Has that changed now?
Oh, that changed.
Oh.
So in 2019, after we were featured on Windy City Live and the video went viral, then people from all over started reaching out to Katrina and I, because we had a Facebook page with less than 50 women on it because it was all our friends and church members. But after the video on Windy City Live went viral, we had over 1,000 members of the Facebook group page in less than 2 days. And me and Katrina were like, what? And people were asking us, well, I want to do this in my neighborhood and I want to do this here. And we're like, you in Charlotte, North Carolina. You're in Queens, New York. How are we supposed to do that? And so there was a lady here in Oak Park. She was actually on the west side. She called us and she said, you need to find a way to grow this by telling people your mission, your vision, what the format needs to look like, and let them start meetups in their areas.
Nice.
And so that's how the sub clubs were born. And so now we have sub clubs all over the world. We have over 100 sub clubs. We're in almost every major city across the United States, and we have members in Germany, Canada, Israel.
Germany? I didn't know that.
We have members all over the world. And we're planning a trip to Ghana in July because the ladies in Africa are like, we want to do this here, but they don't know how to jump. So we said, we're going to have to come teach you.
All this time I was saying 40 plus has so many chapters across the nation. I meant to say world.
We're international.
Oh, wow.
It
International, baby.
A global movement, a global movement.
It.
So yes, it has been an amazing journey, and it just really goes to show how God can take your pain and turn it into purpose. Using something as simple as a plastic clothesline to connect thousands of women all over the world.
When did you realize that you were creating more than just a jump rope club?
So I think Katrina and I realized it right after the Windy City Live segment, because usually when we got together, it was like 12 of us maybe. And right after Windy City Live, we found a different location because we were just meeting on the sidewalk of Homewood Flossmoor High School out in Flossmoor. And right after the Windy City Live feature, a lot of people were saying, well, I'm going to come out. I'm going to come and jump with you all. And so I told Katrina, I said, we need to find a bigger space. We didn't even ask the people of HF if we could jump here for the past several years. So we can't bring a whole bunch of women out here. So we found another space in Country Club Hills, a parking lot at a park to jump in. And over 50 women came. And Katrina and I looked around and we said, okay, this is bigger than anything that we could have imagined. It's bigger than anything we could have imagined. And that's when, and we had always said we get together for friendship, fitness, and fun. But that's the day that we added fellowship, because we said we're going to end every meetup in a circle. So it's a sister circle, and we have a prayer circle. So we pray out at the end of every meetup.
Nice.
And so everybody that starts a chapter anywhere, they have to understand the format, and the meetups end in a circle prayer, no matter where you are. Make sure that we are acknowledging that God brought us together.
For a reason.
For a reason. For a reason and for his purpose. And it's not just for us to jump double dutch. It's much
so
bigger
much
than that.
more than that.
It's much bigger than that.
In fact, to me now, having this conversation, it feels like double dutch is the least.
Exactly. There are people who don't even jump. My mother is 79 years old. She comes out to meetups 3 or 4 times a week. She doesn't jump at all. She's had knee replacement. She's had shoulder surgery. She has arthritis. She's had back issues. She doesn't jump at all. But she's at meetups 3 or 4 times a week because it's the fellowship.
The fellowship, the sisterhood, the movement.
That's right.
You know, you just mentioned that your mom, it was a knee surgery she had? Yeah. So that's a thought that crossed my mind earlier is that how does double Dutch affect your joints, like your knees? Does it?
Well, jumping I wouldn't say the jumping is great for your knees, but if you have on the proper shoes, the proper support, then you're going to be okay. But you do need to listen to your body because our bodies change as we get older.
Yeah.
You got to listen and you got to make sure you're not doing too much. So back in the day, we used to jump all day, every day till the street lights came on. We can't do that anymore. We don't do that. We jump for a little while, then we do some line dancing, then we do some hula hooping, we do some hand games, a tweedly-lee little thing. So we do other things. We are not jumping. Our meetups last generally an hour and a half. We are not jumping for 90 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Because we have to make sure that we are aware of the changes in our bodies.
Question. But before I ask you the question, let me plug a product here. So for your joint support, collagen peptides, collagen powder. And you know who has the best collagen powder? Who has the best collagen powder?
Black Girl Vitamins.
Oh, Black Girl Vitamins. We have the best collagen powder. Or collagen powder has 9 grams of protein as well. I take it every day. I put it in my coffee or my smoothie. I was telling Pam earlier, I'll just do my smoothie in the morning. It's so easy. I put in my protein, the collagen powder, almond milk. What else do I put in? It's sea moss, as well as my inositol. Bam, good to go. So collagen.
And you're plugging that collagen, but I have heard several of our members who are taking the collagen. In fact, one of our members, her name is Burns. She's 65 years old, I think. She came to the clubhouse where we work, where we do all of our production and everything. She came there yesterday. We're on the 3rd floor. And she walked up the 3 flights of stairs and she said, y'all don't even know how much this collagen is helping me. Before, when I used to walk up these 3 flights, it was a struggle. She said, I walked up these 3 flights with no problem because of that collagen. And I said, I'm going to have to get me some. I'm going to have to get me some. Because I've heard a lot of ladies talk about how much they really appreciate that collagen powder. They love it.
Telling you.
And I'm like, I'm scared because I think it's going to change the taste of my food. And they're like, it's not. They keep telling me it's not. That's what I keep hearing. I'm going to try it.
Pam, you need to try it. I'll send you some. It's completely tasteless. You can put it in so many things. Soups, eggs, coffee, tea, matcha.
See, I only drink water though. So I know it's going to, I feel that I'm going to taste it in my water.
So let me tell you what I do.
What?
I put lemon, squeeze of lemon in the water.
Now I can do that.
Yep. It's so versatile.
I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
Heard it here first. I'm going to try it. But I've heard great things. And like I said, Bern was just at the clubhouse yesterday raving about the collagen. And I said, y'all really trying to get me to try this collagen, huh? Now here you are.
Yeah, I need to get her on camera. Like, say that again. But yeah, it really does work. So
they love it.
When I first heard that we were potentially going to partner with 40 Plus, this is before we officially signed the agreement to partner. The first thing I thought was, I wonder if their knees are okay. They can try collagen powder.
They love it.
Yeah.
They love it.
My question that I had before, which is, now that I think about it, is such an elementary question. It's such a basic question. Do you guys, because I'm not going to hide and talk, Pam. Like, I go to the gym 5 days a week. I do cardio. I walk for 30 minutes every day. But when I try to jump rope, like by myself, it is hard.
It's a whole different workout.
It's like
it's a whole different workout.
Jump roping for like 10 minutes. So I see you guys jump roping. I have a question. Do you guys have like training days and cardio days separate from jump roping days?
We don't, but we have a meetup somewhere every day of the week. And the more you go, the more you're practicing, the more you're building your endurance.
Got it.
We have a lady, Miss Ruby. Miss Ruby came to us when she was
I know
70
her.
years old. You know Miss Ruby?
Wait, she's in one of your videos. Is
She's
she
in
like this?
several of my videos.
Yeah, I've
Miss
seen
Ruby
her.
was 70 years old when she came, and she was very quiet and mild-mannered. And she said, well, I know how to jump. I don't jump really good. I don't know how to do any tricks or anything, but I do know how to jump.
Mm-hmm.
That lady started coming out 2, then 3, then 4 days a week. Now she's doing crisscross, doing all kind of different stuff.
I saw
all
her.
kind
She
of
does
stuff.
it in all the
She's
videos.
74 now.
That's crazy.
She's 74
to
years
me.
old. But I mean, we got ladies. Katrina can jump over my head while I'm turning. I'll sit down. She can jump over my head. We got Okila who's doing splits in the rope. We got Asia.
Wait, how
and
do you do splits in the rope?
you got to watch the videos.
As in, what do you mean splits in the rope?
She can do a split. She's jumping and then she goes down into a split.
I've got to go find that video.
watch
We'll
those
put a
videos.
video here. Because what?
And we weren't doing all of these things before.
Mm-hmm.
It just came from going out, jumping, trying new things, pushing yourself to your limits while still being careful, because we are over 40. But it's just really about training your body to go as far as it can go without going too far.
Something that can help from our end is we have an energy bundle. Do you know about our energy bundle? Have you ever come across it?
I have not.
Ooh, watch me. So we have an energy bundle. In that bundle comes D3, comes B12, and iron. They're all gummies. So essentially, when you are deficient in vitamin D, one of the first ways you can tell is you're just always tired. Always tired. The fatigue is out of this world crazy. You're waking up tired. That's one of the first signs. For B12 typically helps to convert food into energy. When you eat, your body does, naturally do that. But sometimes we need a little bit of help, right? And that's why we take supplements. So this B12 is a supplement that helps to convert food into energy. Iron. When you are anemic, what's essentially happening is that your red blood cells are affected. And that's what's used to transport oxygen. When your oxygen levels are not where they're supposed to be, that's when you start getting really tired. So this bundle here together, it's energy out of this world.
Okay.
Essentially, with all the jump roping and the double dutching and all of these, is that a word, double dutching?
We just say jumping rope.
Jumping rope. With all that you have to do, something that could potentially help as well. If anybody's struggling with energy, is probably looking into the energy bundle. The energy bundle, it's on our website as a bundle. So we sell these separately, but we have a bundle where you can get the 3 of them together. Just one order, one shipment, one package, you're good to go. So typically, you take your vitamins. We always say, listen, we're not the kind of company that will tell you it will work by tomorrow because we want you to buy it. We tell you the truth. And the truth is, when you're taking any supplement at all, including ours, you need to take it consistently. You need to take it daily, and you need to take it for at least 6 to 8 weeks before you can see real results.
Okay.
When you start taking it, you're going to feel something. You're going to feel some sort of difference. But for you to feel the difference that we want you to feel and that you are expecting to feel, you need to take your vitamins for at least 6 to 8 weeks before that can happen. And another thing is our website has a subscribe feature where you don't even have to think about it. If you buy the bundles or just any vitamin from our website through the subscription feature, as soon as your vitamins are done, the next supply
It
arrives
comes automatically.
automatically. And by the way, if you're on the subscription and you see vitamins come and your vitamins are not done, it means that you're not taking your vitamins.
Oh, that means
Like
you're
you
not
should.
taking them consistently.
Consistently, exactly. If you're taking your vitamins consistently, then what would happen is you would be out by the time your new order arrives, because we have tailored it so specifically that is exactly what is designed to happen. Today has been such a great conversation. As a 32-year-old woman, outside of my role as a CMO of BGV, I feel like I just had a conversation. Anna had a conversation with Pam, and I feel a little bit less nervous
Good.
about aging.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And I won't even say a little less nervous. I will say a lot less nervous, because what stuck with me this whole conversation is what you said in the beginning, that it is a blessing to age.
It is.
So many people don't get the opportunity. So thank you so much, Pamela Robinson,
Thank
founder
you.
of 40 Plus Double Dutch Club.
Thank you.
Thank you for this conversation. I'm hoping we can have another one
Yes,
soon.
we should do this again.
Yeah, we should do this again. I love it. So for you or viewers at home, in your car, at the office, at the gym, wherever you're listening or watching us, thank you so much for taking the time to participate in our conversation. We truly hope that you heard something here today that made you also feel less nervous about aging and more appreciative of the gray hairs coming. You're more appreciative of the signs of aging. You're more appreciative and looking forward to life. You have a new lease on life. That is what this video was for. So thank you so much for joining us. Please join us for our next video. We post a video every week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Thanks for joining.